is the 3-2 notes. A couple things that we're going to write down before we start with these three examples is first we're going to write down what a linear function is. So linear function. Okay, so that's what we're getting into, our linear functions. What you need to know is that a linear function, okay, it's called a linear because this right here, we know that the graph is a line. We also need to know that the parent function is y equals x. And so what that means is that this right here, there's nothing added to it, multiplied to it, subtracted, divided, nothing. This is your parent function. This is like the original. So y equals x is our original. Okay, so we're going to do 3 examples. It says find the zero. So I want you to go ahead and underline that 0. And what we're going to do over here is we're going to write down this word rocks. R-O-X-S. Okay, R stands for roots. The O stands for zeros. Come up here, there we go. X stands for x-intercepts. And S stands for solutions. All of this stuff, okay, it means the same thing. Means the same thing. So if they say what is the root, what's the zero, what's the x-intercept, what's the solution to this certain function, all they're asking for is where it is across the x-axis. Okay, so you'll just see this word, these different words, they all mean the same thing. So it says find the zero of each function by graphing. What they're pretty much saying is find the x-intercept. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to do this below. We're going to make an XY table. Okay. And I'm going to look on my graph. My x's, my domain goes from, let's say, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So we start from -5, and we're going all the way to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to go from -5 to +5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And what you were going to do, even though this says f of x, remember when earlier we talked about function notation, this is the exact same thing, f of x, as y equals. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this into y equals and look at our table. So to do that, get my calculator. So in y equals, we're going to go ahead and type in 3x minus 3. And we're going to go to our table. And we're starting at -5. So I'm going to hit my up arrow here at -5. And this is perfect. Okay, it goes from -5 to +5. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to copy all these y values on our paper. So let me go back to my paper. Okay, so for -5, we should have -18. -4 was -15. Then -12. -9. -6. -3. 0. 3. 6, 9, and 12. Okay, well, we cannot plot -5, -18. We can't plot -4 to -15. We can't plot -3, -12. We can't plot -2, -9. -1, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -6 would be somewhere like right down in here. 0, -3, so 1, 2, 3. Then my next point would be 1, 0, so x is 1, y is 0. X is 2, so 1, 2, y is 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we have 3, 6, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be just a little bit up here. Okay, so once we have our points, we're going to go ahead and connect our dots. And this is a little bit more difficult. Trying to do this on the computer. Trying to make it as straight as possible, not ugly like mine. Okay, that's kind of. Okay, so here's our straight line. And what you're looking for is the 0. So that's your x-intercepts. That's just where it crosses the x-axis. If you notice, it's right here at this point. That point in our graph is this 1, 0. So go ahead and make sure you circle it and box it in on your graph and in your table. And what we're going to do is put our answer right here. So my answer for this one is 1, 0. So that's our 0 for this function. Okay, number 2. So I'm going to change colors here. So remember number 2, again, f of x is the same thing as y equals. We're going to make our table again. So here's my xy table. Again, we're going to go from -5 to +5 because that's what my graph has. So -5 all the way to +5. Okay, and my equation is just y equals -4. So if we go back to our calculator, go to your y equals, clear this out, type in y equals -4. We're filling out our table, so we can go to our table. And we're going from -5 to +5. So if you notice, all of my y values here are -4. So all of my y values then here in my table are going to be -4. So we're going to write -4 a bunch of times. And then we're going to go ahead and plot these points. So -5, -4, so -5, -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, -4, -4, -3, -4, -2, -4, and all of these are going to be -4. Okay, and once we're done, we're going to go ahead and connect our dots. And draw our arrows at the end. Always draw your arrows at the end. That way we know that you're plotting a line. Okay, a good way that we can check ourselves is we can go back to our calculator, hit your graph, and you'll notice right here, okay, this is right where y equals -4. So this graph looks a lot like the graph that we just plotted. Okay, so it's a good way to check yourself. Now for this one, let's see if I can highlight this. Okay, I'm going to highlight our x-axis. Okay, if you notice, this line does not ever cross our x-axis. Since it doesn't cross the x-axis, you do not have any x-intercepts, which means you do not have a 0. So our answer here, well, nope, don't want the highlighter. Back to my pen. Okay, so my answer here, and I can write it, let's see what right here, is no 0. Okay, doesn't cross the x-axis, so it's no 0. All right, last one. Let me see if I can get a nicer color. Okay. Last one. Again, don't forget f of x is the same thing as y equals. We have -x plus 4. We're going to make our table. Let me see, get back over here. There we go. Make our table. So here's x, here's y, and again, we're going to go from -5 to +5. So -5 positive 5. We're going to go ahead and plug this into our calculator. So we have negative x plus 4. So we'll have y equals, clear this out, we have negative x plus 4. Hit second graph to go to your table. And we're going to go ahead and copy our y value. So we're going from 9 to negative 1. So all these numbers right here we want to copy onto our paper. So start with positive 9. So let me make this bigger. Okay, so start with positive 9. And then we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and I think 5 is going to be negative 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and plot our points. You can't plot negative 5, 9. Sorry, 9 is up here because it's off the graph. Can't do negative 4, 8. We can't do negative 3, 7. Can't do negative 2, 6. Negative 1, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can do that. We have 0, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. We have 2, 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. We have 3, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 1. And we have 4, 0. And we have 5, negative 1. Okay, once you have your points plotted, we're going to connect these dots. Draw your arrow so that we know this is a line. Again, I'll go ahead and highlight the x-axis. This might help some of y'all see this. So here's your x-axis. And you're looking for the point, okay, that crosses the x-axis. So if you notice, the point where it crossed the x-axis is right here. And if you count, that's at 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I look at my table right here, here's my 4, 0. Okay, so there's my 0. That's my x-intercept. So my answer here is just 4, 0. Okay, and that's the first part of your 3-2 notes.